All right, students, here we are, practice 8.6. This is solving these rational equations. Okay. Basically, what I'm going to do is just work through a couple problems in case anyone missed it from the week. Okay. The first ones where I'm going to jump past them, but the basic thing is they already solved it. You just need to plug in these x's. That's right, this value for these x's. Okay. Um, so that takes work because this one's a fraction. This one's a little easier because it's just a 4. Basically, just plug it in and simplify. Okay. What I want to focus on, though, is sort of more the heart of the matter, solving. Because that's usually what we're going to try and do is actually solve it from the start. So for this one, let me go and copy it down. 1 over x plus 5 equals 2 over 7x. Okay. And what we got here then is it says to do it by cross multiplying. Okay, we can do that. Okay, one thing I would have to mention here, absolutely, you can only use cross multiplication if it's a fraction equal to another fraction. Okay, that's all it is. It only works under that situation, nothing else. So cross multiplying, 7x times 1 is going to be 7x. X plus 5 times 2 is going to be 2, and x plus 5. And what you got to make sure to do here is multiply it by the x and the 5. So we got 7x equals 2x plus 10. Okay. At that point, we've got an algebra 1 equation on our hands. We can solve this. Get all the x's to one side. Minus 2x, minus 2x. Those cancel. And you've got 5x equals 10. So x equals 2. All there is to it. All right. So for that one at least, those ones are pretty straightforward. Let me show you something else though. This 2, you can take this and plug it back in to check. So we're going to check this. You don't have to check all the homeworks, but you should definitely be doing that on the quiz. Otherwise, you're losing points because you might make a mistake and not realize it. But if you check it, you'll know. So 1 over, we're going to place 2 for x, so 2 plus 5. Equals 2 over 7 times x, which is 2. This is 1 over 7 equals 2 over 14. Those are equal, but if you didn't notice it, rewrite it like this. 1 over 7. Change this into 2 times 1. That's how we factor 2. And 14 is 2 times 7. And guess what happens? The 2's cancel, and you got 1/7 equals 1/7. So it does check. Okay. So you'll definitely want to do that for the quizzes and stuff like that. Okay. Let's jump on and move to a different problem. All these are pretty much the same. You're going to cross multiply. The difference comes when you have an x squared. So depending on where your x's are, you might end up with x squared in this thing. So we got to be a little bit careful about this and how we do that. All it is just if there's x squared, it's going to a little more work, and it's going to require factoring. That's it. Okay. So let's jump to number 6. I'm just choosing a few problems randomly to do, and then based on those, hopefully you're successful with the rest. If it's still not making sense, that's when you come back and see me, or go to the math tutoring center, or something. Ask a friend, something. All right. Let's cross multiply here. So if we multiply here, there's 2 terms here. That's going to become a x times 2x plus 4. And cross multiply this way. Whoops, there you go. Now you can see it. X times 2x plus 4, and cross multiply the other way. And you got 2 times 5x. So if we distribute this, we get 2x squared plus 4x. And over here we get 10x. Okay. Here's the deal. As soon as you see x squared, you're going to have to factor. Okay, really no two ways around it, unless you love the quadratic formula, which most of us don't. All right, so let's do this. Let's get rid of the 10x. All right, those cancel out. You're left with a 0 here, and you want to do that because we're trying to group all the x's together. Okay, we got 2x squared minus 6x. Bring down the equal sign. So 2x squared minus 6x equals 0. Okay, like I said, there's different factoring techniques. With this one, though, if it's only a binomial, there's not three terms, there's only two terms, so that's a binomial. You got to do it a little bit differently. You got to look at these and look for a common factor, and the factor is 2. And then if you look at x squared and x, they both have an x, so we're going to factor out a 2x. What's going to be left inside? I got to think 2x times what would it give me x squared? 2x squared, that would be x. Like that. And then to get a 6x, 2 times 3. And then be careful, that's a minus, so it needs to stay a minus. Equals 0. Okay, now the whole reason we do this, something times something equals 0. Well, the only way that's possible, either this part is 0 or this part 0. And we got to solve both of those. So divide by 2, you get x equals 0. Add 3, you get x equals 3. So there's two answers, and that's not a surprise to us, because we remember from that previous chapter, if it's x squared, it's going to have two answers. Okay, so that's it. That's how you do that one. Okay, so all the top 1 through 10 on practice 8.6 are all cross multiplying. So let's jump down to one of the tougher ones. Okay, down here, or in fact, let's jump over here because this is where we really went with these examples. For number 15 here, we'll work through this one, and then hopefully that'll help you be successful on the rest. All right, here we go. 4 over x minus 3 plus 2 over x plus 3 equals 2x plus 2, x squared minus 9. A lot of stuff going on here. So let's go ahead and do this. Let's split this and do a little side problem. Okay. What we're going to do is say, okay, what if we had like 1/2 x plus 1/3 equals 1/4 x plus 1/6. All right, what's going on here? Well, we got fractions, obviously. Okay, what we need to do though, there's two different ways to do it, and the way I'm going to do it is we're going to use the lowest common denominator, but we're not going to actually try and get a common denominator. We're going to try and wipe out all the denominators. So 2, 3, 4, 6, we need a bigger number that all of them go into. Okay, and if you do a little searching for that, you will find it is 12, because 2 goes into 12, 3 divides into 12, 4 divides into 12, and 6 divides into 12. It's a magic number that works for all of them. Okay, so let's put a parentheses around here, and we're going to multiply the whole thing by 12 over 1. Okay, and again, we're doing this problem because it's going to help us with this problem. Okay, here we go. Well, we'll get on top 12x over 1. Sorry, 2. There was a 2 on the bottom. Sorry about that. Plus 12 over 3 equals 12 over 4 plus 12 over 6. Now, all these should reduce. 12 over 2, 6x. 12 over 3, 4. 12 over 4, 3x. And 12 divided by 6, 2. Because 12 over 6 really means 12 divided by 6. That's all it is. Okay, at this point, you're now back to Algebra 1 level. You can solve that. I'm confident in it. Let's use our time to talk about this monster of a problem. Okay. Again, first thing, look at the denominators. What do you have? X minus 3, x plus 3. Those are different. They look similar, but they're different. And then x squared minus 9. Okay. So what we're going to do here is let's rewrite it. 4 over x minus 3, 2 over x plus 3, and then 2x plus 2. And then this part, this is called a difference of two squares, or just difference of squares. X squared is a perfect square, 9 is a perfect square, that can be factored. X squared would be x times x, negative 9 would be 3 times 3. But one has to be plus and one has to be minus. Now check this out. We had an x minus 3, and we have it over here again. Okay, so it's a double factor. Okay, we don't have to use it twice, we only use it once. X plus 3 shows up here, and it shows up there. Let's bring all this stuff down. And here's what we're going to do. we're going to multiply, just like that other problem, we multiplied by the lowest common denominator. Our LCD here is x minus 3 and x plus 3, because those are the two things that are showing up in the denominators. I'm going to take this whole thing here and multiply by there, and by there. Stick with me here. It's not as bad as it seems. But as they say, it's going to get worse before it gets better. All right, so stick with me here. That's the top of that one. Whoops, let's make sure you guys can see it. And x minus 3, x plus 3, and on the bottom is x plus 3. And over here we have a 2x plus 2, and we have an x minus 3, and we have an x plus 3. Oh, there it is. Okay. And on the bottom is x plus 3, x minus 3. Okay, that's just this. And again, what we did is we distributed this stuff to the top of each term. So it should look the same as before, but this is the new stuff in all of them. Okay, so it's just like before, but now with that extra new stuff. Now, here's where it gets better. That cancels with that, that cancels with that, that cancels with that, that cancels with that, and now we see what's left. 4 times x plus 3 plus the 2 x minus 3 equals, and then 2x plus 2 is all that's left over here. It's getting better. Take a look. We eliminated all those ugly fractions. They're done. Now this is a multi-step algebra 1 equation. That's 4x plus 12. That's 2x minus 6 equals 2x plus 2. Okay, so I'm going to leave the rest of it for you. What you need to do, combine all the x's, group them together on one side, combine all the numbers and group them together on the other side, and then divide and get your answer. Get x alone. All right, thanks for watching. I appreciate your patience for this long 12-minute video. Hopefully this helps and you're going to be successful on 8.6 now. If not, make sure to bring questions to class and I'd be more than happy to answer them anytime.